Hi, boys and girls. Thanks for coming back for more of Dessert First. Last time we read, the big kind of event has been dessert sneaking in the refrigerator and taking little slivers of these double-decker chocolate bars that her mom made she's thinking for a bake sale for her sister Charlie for her school. And her mom has even left notes, do not touch. And of course, she's taking a little bit. She did eat one whole double decker brownie, but now she's kind of taking little slivers. I'm getting worried, boys and girls, that pretty soon there will be nothing left in that box. And chapter 10 makes me even more worried. It's called A Midnight Snack. And look at this picture. Chunky sleeps on my bed. He weighs 140 pounds, but I always tell him he's light as a feather because he has a great spirit. It's my job to take him out before I go to bed at 9 o'clock, and it's my job to let him out again in the morning when the bus comes. So that evening I got ready for bed, and I let Chunky out and in, and we said goodnight. But at exactly 12:32 a.m., I woke up. Chunky was hopping around my room like there were thumbtacks on the floor. I took him straight downstairs, and on the way to the back door, I passed the refrigerator. And I remembered something. I remembered those double-deckers in there. I opened the door for Chunky, and he trotted out. I looked over at the fridge. It was almost as if it was calling my name. I was sure I heard it whispering, "Dessert, dessert." Chunky came back inside and I shut the door. Then I saw him look at the fridge. He must have heard the same thing I did. I connected eyes with him. "Do you want a midnight snack?" I asked. I guess he did because he stood in the doorway like a crossing guard. I opened the fridge and set down a big piece of smoked ham for Chunky. With a whoosh, his tongue swept up that ham. And then I saw before me the box of Double D's. My arms tingled just looking at them. I had only had one taco for supper, and if ever there was a night for a midnight snack, this was it. On top of that, it wasn't right that these delicious bars would be wasted at a bake sale. The sign was still there, and all it did was remind me of all the times Mummy baked stuff that I didn't get a chance to eat. Oh, but what if I got caught? I could be in big trouble with Mummy and Daddy. The next thing I saw was that my hand opened the box and touched the top one of those bars. It was smooth and silky. My hand raised the bar out of the box and all the way into my mouth. My mouth chewed the bar, and then my hand went back and raised another one out of the box. That bar went into my mouth too. And I watched as my hand went back and raised another bar and put it into my mouth. My hand was on automatic. I couldn't control it. It kept reaching in and raising one bar after another after another. It kept putting them in my mouth. My mouth kept chewing them and my hand kept taking them. My hand emptied the box. My hand pushed the box back into the fridge, and my body went back to bed. Chapter 11. I don't feel good. I was awake before the sun came up because I didn't feel very good. Something felt very wrong. Did I have a bad dream, or did I really eat all the double-decker bars? Well, there was a big brown circle of drool on my pillow, and the circle smelled like chocolate. Chunky licked my face, and he smelled like ham. And then I saw my fingers. They were covered with sticky, brown, white stuff. I smelled it. The sticky, brown, and white stuff smelled like double-decker chocolate bars. I prayed that what I thought might have happened didn't. I prayed that it wasn't true. I ran downstairs. I opened the fridge. Oh, crud. The lid was not on the box the right way. I opened it up. There was nothing inside but the turquoise paper. I had to sit down. Oh, what had I done? Then I remembered my hand. I remembered my hand raising the bars out of the box. I remembered my hand putting the bars in my mouth. I remembered my mouth chewing the bars. Oh, and that's why I didn't feel so good. Oh, I could not get caught. I needed a plan. I needed a plan before Mummy woke up. And then Chunky put out a paw. I think he wanted to remind me that we were in this together. But I knew I was in it all alone. If only chocolate were death for humans instead of dogs, I'd be dead by now. And if I were dead, I wouldn't need a plan and I wouldn't be getting in trouble. I was pretty sure the double D's were for a bake sale. That must have been why Mummy put the sign on the box. I had to believe it, because if I didn't believe it, I would not have any hope. The sun was coming up and time was not on my side. Mummy would be downstairs soon. Oh, for sure this was the worst thing I'd ever done. If I got caught, the punishment would be the worst punishment ever. Okay, I had to get rid of Mummy's telltale turquoise paper. She uses it for everything. I was afraid whoever bought the double D's would recognize Mummy's turquoise paper when they opened the box. I crumpled it into a little ball and hid it in the bottom of the garbage. What could I refill the box with? What did I have that weighed the same as 12 double-decker chocolate bars? The sun was getting brighter. I took the empty box downstairs to see what we had in the supply closet. Right next to the boxes of Sterno was a case of old gas checks, receipts. I held one pad in my hand. Okay, it seemed to be the right size and weight, so I started laying them side by side, 4 across and 2 down. I put the lid back, picked it up. Yep, it felt just about right, as best I could remember. My heart was beating pretty badly. The sun was almost up, and I thought I was going to have a stroke. My hands were shaking as I put the lid back on, with the note still attached, of course. Phew, it was a relief to see that it pretty much looked like it did before. But I was nervous. I tucked the box right back in the fridge where I'd found it, and I convinced myself that whoever bought the double D's would not be able to trace it back to us. The guest checks didn't have our restaurant name on it or anything like that. Then I heard footsteps on the second floor, right above my head. I prayed for help. I sucked in my breath and waited. Then I heard a toilet flush. More footsteps. Then nothing. Phew! I crawled up the stairs and back into my room. My heart was pumping fast, but I managed to get my clothes on. Then I waited in my room until 7:10 a.m. That was my usual wake-up time. I felt terrible in my stomach, and I had sweat all over, but I didn't want anybody to know what I did. Now, like I normally would, I went downstairs to get my breakfast, even though I wasn't hungry. Mummy walked in the kitchen right after me, dressed and ready to go, and Charlie came right behind her. Daddy was still sleeping. "Hello, dessert," she said. "Oh, where are you going today, Mummy?" I asked, hoping that she'd mention the bake sale. "Oh, to Charlie's school," she said. "I'm the helping parent today." "Oh, anything special going on?" I asked, trying not to let my voice shake. Like a bake sale or anything like that?" "Well, not that I know of," said Mummy, "but I am bringing rice for the sensory table." "Oh, I thought I saw a note that there was some kind of bake sale today." Of course, I was lying. "Nope, no sale at all, dessert. What makes you so interested in bake sales anyway?" I felt like I was going to die. The double D's had not been made for a bake sale. My voice came out a little higher than usual when I said, "Oh, the duty drive got me thinking about raising money." Now, luckily, Mummy didn't notice my voice. "Well, we'll have to talk about that, honey. I saw that paper on the dining table." "Yeah," I said. I smiled at her, but it wasn't a real smile. "Hi, Pam," said Mummy, when Pam came through the door a second later. "Wolfgang and Mushy are just about ready for breakfast, and Charlie and I should be home around lunchtime. Please make sure dessert catches the bus, and if you have a chance, run the plates through the rinse cycle, please. We're doing something special tonight." "Oh, something special," I said. My voice was still high. "Yes, dessert, something very special. We'll see you after school." Mommy blew a kiss and left with Charlie. When I arrived at school, I mumbled, "Morning, Mrs. Howdy Doody." "Good morning, dessert. Ask me why I'm doing especially well today." "Okay, why?" Didn't seem like I had a choice. "Today is Wednesday," she said, "and Wednesday are one of my favorite days of the week because You never know what you might learn by Friday. And then she rang the bell for class to start. My dear happy learners, she said to the whole class, on my way to school this morning, I thought to myself, if we all work together, soon we'll have a tree house. And the view from that tree house is going to be all the more glorious because we are making sacrifices to build it. So tell me, how many of you have decided what you're going to give up? And everybody but me raised their hands. Just as I thought, she said, you are an exceptional class. I'd like you to all write down what you're giving up on slips of paper, please. And if you haven't decided yet, you can write down your possibilities, ideas that you're thinking about. Then she put on her snowball slippers and marched around the classroom, handing out the colored slips of paper. Usually I liked her slippers, but not today. When all 21 of us had handed in our slips, Mrs. Howdy Doody read them out loud. Okay, Jeezy Lou, makeup. Evan C, tater tots. Amy D, ooh, it's a surprise. Billy B, action figures. Donnie B, action figures. Tammy S, hot dogs. Jean S, chips. Charlotte R, computer games. Sam C, stickers. Sharon S, making knots. Jack S, scissors. Marshall W, remote control chucks. Bonnie A, now and laters. Emily V, gumballs. Pat D, racing my guinea pig. Grace E, eating in the family room. Lois Z, batteries. Melissa R, Barbies. Michael A, mean faces. Josh M, leaving my shoes out. And dessert. I don't feel good. When Mrs. Howdy got to my slip, she said, dessert? I didn't know you were under the weather. Do you need to go see Nurse Thomas? No. Well, we'll speak in a moment, dessert, but for now, I'd like all of you to close your eyes until I say treehouse. I closed my eyes, and it sounded like Mrs. Howdy Doody was rearranging the furniture. Several minutes later, she said, treehouse, and we opened our eyes, and there before us was a big tree with a treehouse built in it and a sign on top that said, together we'll build a treehouse. Then Mrs. Howdy Doody tied a brown ribbon through each slip, except for mine, and hung them up. Looking at that tree with everybody being so jolly made me just burst into tears. Mrs. Howdy Doody came over to my desk, handed me my slip, and said, dessert, why don't you feel good today? The cries got worse, and I couldn't catch my breath. I put my head on my desk, and Mrs. Howdy Doody whispered, do you want to talk about it? I managed to catch my breath, and I said, Mrs. Howdy Doody, I'm going to get caught. You're going to get caught? Remember Chunky? How could I forget your dog Chunky, she said. Well, we had a midnight snack last night, and I ate every one of the double-decker chocolate bars that Mummy had in the fridge, even though I wasn't supposed to. And that's not all. Well, what else went wrong, dessert? I covered it up. Okay, first things first. Do your parents know that you ate the double-decker bars? Not yet. Are you sorry? Yes. Do you want to say you're sorry, but you don't know how? Sort of. I can help you, Mrs. Howdy Doody said, because I know how you feel. And sometimes it helps when you know that someone else understands how you feel. Come, we'll go speak in the tulip garden. And that is the end of our chapter. Tune in tomorrow for chapter 12. This is an interesting title. Can Man. Have a fantastic day. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Bye, Parkway Manor. See you soon.